Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over and update Bitcoin and let you guys know that just going through the market. And by the way, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Be really, really appreciated. I've been going through the market and I've been looking at some coins trying to put everything together. And for some reason, man, and Bitcoin and GBTC, they have flipped. They flipped. It's looking like there's a good shot. I got algo saying that Bitcoin could be going into a trend all the way into August, guys. This is probably not over. And I'm looking at the other assets like Veracity here that broke out of the triangle and is going up. It looks like into a nice impulsive move. Could it roll over? It could. It could. But here's the deal. This could be a start of a new trend. This is a nice deep move. And Veracity could be getting out of there. Okay. So that's a coin that I like for a pump only, not long-term hold, guys, if you know what I mean. Not a long-term hold, but just going through other coins as an example. Here's let me put on logarithmic. Viet coin is looking like maybe it pulled off a wave, might swing back down, getting ready to get out of there. You know, it's just slow to the start, possibly. And next section. What's another coin looking at that I was noticing? You know, some of the coins give you clues, guys. You know, here's Nakamoto Games. Let me see which one I got here. Yeah, Nakamoto Games. This one. I think Nakamoto Games is just doing some type of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could roll back over, get ready to get out of there. That could be a bull flag. Nakamoto Games very bullish on that coin, guys. So that looks pretty good, like it's setting itself up. I'm going through these to give you guys an idea. Caspa coin probably wants to start working on ripping out of there. It's just market's in a transition. So the clues in the altcoins, and just watch the video today. The guys going over Bitcoin, stay away from those altcoins. They might be right. They might be right. But here's some solid ones, you know, like Caspa coin. I think it's going to make it. I think it's going to go up, guys. We shall see. We shall see. ISP. It's working on getting out of there. I'm not super excited about ISP, guys, so I just go over that real quick. All right. So if you don't like it, I don't blame you. I don't really. It's just interesting to me. But Web3 play. Here's GLQ. I'm bullish on this one, guys. These guys have a good play. You do a little research on what they're doing, guys, making things easier in the crypto space. Anything gets into crypto, make it easy. You have a project that's easy. Users can come to it and use it. It's easy. I don't care if it looks ugly. It just needs to be easy. Okay. That's how I look at that, guys, right there. So this one, boom, boom, and it's working on getting out of there. I was sniping at 0.045. You know, I thought that was a really good deal. 0.045 is, or not 0.45, but 0.045 was a really, really good deal. Looking here at Gala, guys, and the facts are is that I think that was a bottom right there, 0.018 for Gala. And, you know, this thing already whizzed up, you know, solid 50%, you know, from wick to wick. So I think that was it, guys, right there with Gala. Then you have Phantom. I think Phantom did it right there, the bottom, 21, 22 cents. Boom. I think it's getting ready to set stuff up. Now I realize, too, these can go up some and they're going to do a correction, okay? So they can come back down. So you might have a second shot on some of your altcoins. I'll go over Bitcoin here. So I was looking at this. Okay, let me go to a clean chart. Here we go, clean chart. Let me clear everything up, take everything off, and clean this up. So here's the deal with Bitcoin, guys. All right, I'm gonna go to an 8-hour first. This is bullish. This is definitely a bullish move. And if Bitcoin, if it gets above 31, we see this hit 34,000, I think it's over with. It's off. Okay. So now here I got my RSI on this move. Okay. This is a third wave peak. So right now, Bitcoin did a 1, 2, 3. It's in a 4, and then it's probably got a 5 to go. Let me change that to green and put it on submicro. That's good. So you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. Okay, is what I'm going to estimate that could be going on with Bitcoin. Now, let me go a little bit deeper, see if I'm missing any waves. See, because that's still that third wave peak right there. And usually, so this is probably not done. It probably has third, fourth, and then maybe a fifth, like that. Because in the middle of the third, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so, guys. Okay, is what I'd be checking out with that. And then that fifth wave should be about as long as that first wave, guys. Okay, should be about that length. Let's take that wherever it ends up. Let's say it stopped right there. So your fifth is looking like maybe 31.4, which will break that area. Okay. Could go a little bit higher, could go a little bit higher, guys. That's how I'm seeing that. 32,000 is kind of what I'm looking for right now for it, okay? So let me clean that up a little bit. So I don't think it's quite done because that's third wave peak. And you need the fifth of the third. The fifth of the third should have a little bit of divergence too, guys. So something like that. And this fifth could extend too up into 32. So I'm looking at 32. So here's the deal with it. Okay, you'd be getting yourself ready for the ultimate setup if you're not in yet, or if you want to load back up. All right, so I'll show you. Here's the deal with Bitcoin. Okay, so here we have this impulsive move, and if you come out here to the daily, let me go to an 8 hour first. I'll show you some. You see how high that is on the 8 hour? Okay, boom. It took everything out, including all of this over here. Okay. So this is definitely strong, giving you a signal that it's onto something new, more than likely. And on the daily, it's way up there. It came up to that one. So I'm looking at this. I'm thinking now this could be the entrance of this third wave, guys. Okay. So what you have right here, you have your 1 and your shallow 2. Okay. All right. So I just came to resign to the fact that Bitcoin is just bullish, more bullish than expected, in my opinion, right now. And I'm just going to show you the setup that could be coming for a really good setup. Now, this is a shallow wave too, but it stopped right on top of this wave. As a matter of fact, you still can't rule out a 1, 2, 1, 2, even though this is too big. Okay. But if you come over here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, look how shallow that is. That's only 20, what was it? It's very shallow. You check a retrace. If I do a retrace, the whole thing, look, it's not even 0.236, and just below 0.236 on that section right there. So I'm thinking with Bitcoin, guys, is that I don't think this section is like this section. I think this section is more like this section, in my opinion. Okay. Because if you take a look at it here, I'll show you something. Okay, so this one whizzed out of here a little bit faster, but so you have your wave 1, 2, and it came up for this third. So you see this fourth wave is a deep fourth wave, but this one was just a sideways fourth wave. Okay, so this one wasn't that deep on the second wave right there, but this deep fourth, this is just the opposite, where you can see here's your deep second wave right here, back up, and your second wave, and went up for your fourth, and then this whole section is more sideways. It went up for the fifth and came deep again, well deeper than the other waves. And this is what it did over here. This is kind of what it did over here, except it was opposite. Okay, it was kind of opposite of what it did on that section. So in this section right here for Bitcoin, okay, you're going to have whenever this is going to end. So you see it's not dumping. So right now, let me put these waves over here. You see how it's just hanging out up there, guys? That's like bullish. Okay, that's bullish. So it's hanging out up here. It's completing its wave. You got to actually see it right now. 1, 2. This is probably your third, fourth, and then up for a fifth that could get up to 32,000. Okay, so this wave is let me see here. 1, 2. Let me remove this. Okay, so there's a 1, 2. So in this little one right here, okay, you want this to finish, and then it's going to come back down for your 1, 2, just like so. Okay, let me change color on that so you see a different one. So shallower one, micro, boom. Okay, so here's your one. Actually, let me go the opposite way real quick. Let me go the opposite way right here. Minuscule, right? So here's your one and 32K, something like that. And it's going to come down for the two. And then here's your three, here's your four, and up for a five. I just have those in those spaces. I don't know where this is going to go, guys. It could really start moving out of there if this is a proper setup. So, and if you don't take this, if you're going to sit back and watch this, I don't know what to say for you, but you obviously have an impulsive move right here, and you have a correction right here, and you have a strong wave out of there. And on the RSI, you can see how high that is. So it's definitely something significant. You can check it on the RSI, guys, right there. So some sort of strong wave telling you it's going to be going. And if you look at the other data that you have to back that up is GBTC. So let me go GBTC real quick. Okay. GBTC is doing the same thing. I said, pay attention to GBTC. Whatever it's going to do is what Bitcoin's going to do. Follow right along, and it's already broken the high. Okay. And GBTC is the same thing. Like, it still probably needs to complete its fifth wave. It just went up, it's hanging out, and yeah, right there. So it's going to come down into probably a little fourth wave, make a little bull flag, and then it's going to go back up again. More than likely, guys, here with GBTC. So when they go up like that and they just hang out, or they just go kind of like this, they usually swing back up, So this one could go up to maybe even near $19 for GBTC. And if you look at it here on the daily, I'm going to go out to the check the 8-hour first. So you see the 8-hour on that RSI down there came up, took everything, went right to there, and took that high out. So it's onto a new trend more than likely with GBTC, which also means it's the same thing for Bitcoin, guys. If this is going up, Bitcoin's going to go up with it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right, more than likely, that's like a 90% shot that that's going to happen. So here we are, a daily chart on Bitcoin. On the wrong one. Which one I want to go to here? No, this one. Which one? There we go. Here we go. It's my chart right here, guys, on this one. So this one is going to come up. I'm looking for like maybe near a 32 or something like that. And then it's going to come down into that 2 in this section, guys, just like that. Okay. And then there you go. You potentially have your 1, 2, 1, 2 setup, just like that, guys. Okay. So here's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It came down for a 2. It's going up for that 1. It's going to come back for that 2. And then boom, you're going to go into that 3, guys. And that thing can start ripping out of there on a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup. All you got to do is wherever this comes down to, back down to say 27.4 or something like that. And you can set a stop at 25K if you're concerned about it. So that's what I would do, guys, right there with that setup. That's what could be setting up right now, because it's not dropping. It should be once it's done, you'll see it. Once it's done and you see the correction, okay? You see the correction, and usually once they peak, you'll see them start going down pretty drastically like that. So the deal is with it, once it gets up here and completes this wave, okay? And it could take it a couple more days, okay? Because it's going to hang out in this fourth wave area, just like that section right up there, okay? You can see it's in a topping pattern. So here's your 2, there's the 3, and then back down, and then 4, and then you're going to want to see your ABC move over here, a little 3-wave swing, just like so. Boom, boom, boom. That's a standard ABC move. It might not do a standard ABC move. It could do like a flat. It comes back down and the B goes above. Tricks some people, right? It could go above like that, ABC, and come down into an expanded flat and come pretty deep. Okay. But if that's a third wave, guys, if that's going into a third wave, it probably won't go very deep, and it probably won't be an expanded flat, in my opinion. Probably just be a standard ABC move like that. I could be wrong, but you never know. You can see this correction here, sideways and went up. It was kind of like, it wasn't expanded flat ABC, and then you can see normal corrections. Usually the beginning of the wave, so maybe right here, you got a pretty deep wave. That's your 1, 2 deep. went up. Second wave right here, deep. So your first one, your second one, your big one. And then here is your second wave. And then your third wave, pretty deep fourth. And here's your fifth, pretty deep. Here's your another second wave of the third wave. Okay. Of the third waves, they're not that deep, guys. You remember 0.236, not even a 382. 786 there, 786 there. Okay. This one has already had deep wave 1 or 2 here, went back up, deep wave 4, it's over here. Now it has potentially a shallow wave 2. So, and then with this wave, this could be, I would be looking at probably no more than 50% correction, guys. So wherever it ends up, you have retrace, look for the 3-wave swing. Let's say it hits, let's just say it hits 31.9, right? And here's your A, here's your B, here's your C. These areas right there, just like so, is what I'd be checking out. And then this thing could really start moving out of there, guys, just like in this area. Okay, right in that area. So that's what I think you have a good shot to be going on right now with it, guys, just because of what's going on with GBTC. And, a lot of other people that are looking at it are now going, wait a second. I was watching another guy today. He's like, 50,000 Bitcoin isn't out of the question now, guys. If this is not a fake out, basically, is what he was saying. And it could be. Is it? The thing is that this is like a WXY wave, and you can't really get a flat out of that. I mean, maybe you could like get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it went up for a 5. So I just have to see this correction. Watch this correction and see what it's going to do. And then you got 1, 2, 1, 2 setup. And then this could really put on a smoke show over there, guys. And then the narrative's going to be, well, the NASDAQ's in a correction. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter if the NASDAQ is a correction. All that's going to matter as long as the NASDAQ didn't top out. Okay. If you go back and look at the history of the NASDAQ and compare it to Bitcoin, there was times when, as long as it's in a bullish trend, the NASDAQ was going up and to the right. And you can look at it at times, NASDAQ would go up and to the right in a bullish trend. Okay. And Bitcoin would go down, and it was vice versa. I think it happened like once in 2015. Bitcoin was in a correction, NASDAQ was still going up, and then they flipped. The NASDAQ was going down, and then Bitcoin was going up. Okay. So the important part over here, this is what's going to be important for the NASDAQ or the TradFi markets. Okay, guys, I'll show you what's going to be important instead of just assuming they have to top out. Okay. So let's go to the NASDAQ. I'm going to go to the regular NASDAQ. So the deal is with the NASDAQ is you're going to look at this area right here. So in this section, okay, right here, they're going to say resistance is going to have to do a correction. And at 14,630, it's going to have to do a correction, right? Okay, they're correct. But here's the thing. Here's this move all the way up, and it's coming up there. It's going to hit this area. As long as the NASDAQ didn't top out, and it's not going into like that, right? Bitcoin will be fine. All the NASDAQ has to be is actually in a bullish trend. Be there, hits this area, right? And then it does a correction only to continue. Bitcoin's not going to care too much about that, if you know what I'm saying. Think about it right now. The NASDAQ is going up into a bullish trend. Bitcoin is correcting right now while this has been going up. Now Bitcoin's flipped. This is in a correction. The important part to realize is to understand the markets. Okay, understand the markets and realize that they're in a trend, bullish trend, even though they may be in a correction. Okay, yeah, I hope that makes sense what I'm explaining for you guys. And it's the same thing with the S&P 500, which is coming up to this supply zone that I have up there, which is going to hit its head on. But all that matters for the S&P 500 is the same thing, as long as it's not in a downtrend. Okay, if it's in only a correction, okay, and it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going 5 or 4, 5, and it's going to continue on. It's not going to matter if it's in a little correction for Bitcoin, as long as it's in this continued trend like this. Okay, that's all that's going to matter, because the narrative, okay, it's going to peak and now it's going to be going down, and that's the end of it. That's the bounce, the bear market bounce, and it's going like this. And if that's the case, sure, then Bitcoin would have a problem. However, The data I'm looking at for the, that's why I keep track of the TradFi markets, the S&P 500. Okay. And the NASDAQ. It's looking like, I'm going to repeat it, I haven't said it for a while, the S&P 500 are going to have corrections. The NASDAQ are going to have corrections, but they're going to continue an uptrend till at least October. That's what it looks like, guys. It's going to just be a grind. So let me go to the NDQs on the daily and put on the moving averages, okay? So here they are on the moving averages, right? And that's like, they're all in order, above the 200 weekly, the 200 daily moving average, above the 9, above the 21, they're all in order, and above the 40. That's like what you want to see. It's bullish. There's no doubt about that. That's bullish and a serious bullish trend. So here's where it is now it's on the 9, right? So hit the 40, 9, 9, 9, 9, and now it's probably due for this area, has a supply zone, which actually busted its head above that, which tells me it's bullish, okay? Because normally they don't go above that supply zone, okay? Usually they come to it and then do it, but normally what this is probably going to do to make sure it stays bullish is like this, okay? First step is the 21. And if it's a big correction, then it's going to come down to the 40 to continue on the trend, just like it did right there, right there. I might come a little bit below the 40 and continue on the trend. And as long as the NASDAQ or the 100 E-mini futures is in a correction, but it's still in this overall trend, it's not going to matter for Bitcoin. Hope that makes sense, guys. Don't want to ramble on about that too long. Just want to clarify that so people can understand it's the trend that matters for the TradFi markets. Okay, if they're like this, you know, here is the downtrend, but now it's an uptrend. Okay, now it's an uptrend, but the correction. So here's the NASDAQ, right? Let's say the NASDAQ is here, it's going into an uptrend. Well, Bitcoin could be right here, and it could be correcting, but it's still in an uptrend like it is right now. Okay, it keeps correcting, but the NASDAQ continued to go up. Now the NASDAQ's in a correction. Maybe Bitcoin is actually going to be going up. As long as this is the trend, just like this, guys, this is the trend and not the bear trend, as long as it's in that trend. Okay. So that's what I'd say for Bitcoin, guys. So, and then also to keep harping on that, keep track of GBTC. That's going to be your clues for the direction of Bitcoin. And MicroStrategy and other ones too, guys. You want to stay on top of those, but mostly GBTC, I think. And then that'll be the deal for Bitcoin, guys. You know, I mean, it actually looks really good. This is a supply zone that I have up there. I already hit it once, did the correction. And you can see on the weekly chart for Bitcoin with the moving averages that I have on here, you know, it just tagged and went right below the 21, and it came down to this supply zone. So this is a major, I think it's a daily supply zone that it hit it and it ripped right out of there. And it stayed at the 21 period moving average. It's above this on the weekly, the 200, and didn't even come down to the 40. Okay. So if this is the end of the correction, that is like extremely bullish, very, very bullish for Bitcoin, guys, in my opinion. So if it gets up and it breaks 31,000, that high right there, it gets up above there, and the higher it gets, the better. So anywhere from 32 to 34, it gets up there and it does three-wave swing over here. You're in your 1-2, 1-2 wave sequence, and it's a buy. Okay. It's just worth it to buy it. Okay. Not financial advice. I'm just saying to buy it, because if you don't, you're going to chase, and you don't want to chase. I'm telling you, you don't want to chase something like that, especially if it's in some sort of sequence where it's 1-2, 1-2. This can really, really rip over here, guys. And I know the narrative out there on the street with Jim Cramer, CNBC, the Fed, raising 2 more interest rates and everything else. Hey, I know it doesn't seem like it. The markets are going to do what they're going to do. If it's setting up, smart money is setting this up to blast it back up to probably at least 48K, guys, at a minimum, in my opinion, in this area. I mean, it's going to go have steps along the way, but I'm pretty sure 48K is going to be hit this year. That's my take on it. Could go higher, but 40 to 48K, but I'm pretty sure 48. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.